We'll start in a couple of minutes. Let me know how the audio is. Give people a chance to arrive. How does this sound? Can you hear the cockerel there? Alright, you can hear me though. Am I good? Hey there, Ian Hamblin. You're new here. Welcome. Visible Lee. How's it going? Mrs. Biffle Chips, Yannicka, Anne, Jason S. Welcome. Welcome! It's time for tea, Tales. Hang on a second. Bruce! We got Bruce. Bruce really wants to be up here. This is not a good place for Bruce to be. Right, no, Bruce, down. Oh, thank you. He's a hefty cat. Don't know what to tell you. Can we just do a small bit of housekeeping before we start? Can you hear me? Does it sound good? Sounds good? Yeah, thanks, Jason. Appreciate that. That's brilliant. So anyway, here's the book. This is How the World Isn't Built for Autistic People, and What We Should All Do About It. Untypical by Pete Womby. Ah, good day, happy Pride. Hey Jennifer, happy Pride to you. Happy Pride. Now this book will be given away at the end of the stream. We'll do a draw as an added bonus. We also have Unmasking Autism. Previously unclaimed prize to also give away. Let's see if we can get some folks on. Let's have a look. Alright, cool. All is good. I'm doing pretty good. Just attempted to get through over 1,500 videos on my watch list. Well, watch later is a place where videos go to die, I think. Okay, let me do a quick poll. We're going to do a poll. Alright, let's get a quick poll. See who we're talking to. Are we talking to folks that have read the book? Or are we talking to people that are coming in blind, perhaps want to win a copy of the book for themselves? Well, it's good, thank you. Jason S, thanks. Let's sit in the garden today. I mean, it's kind of, I want to be in the studio, but also outdoors is nice. Let's do it. Okay. Couple more. Right, cool. Right. So, second poll. Okay, all right, because I want to know where we're jumping off from. So only a quarter of you have actually read the book, but that's okay. Let's go for Brainlicious. I'm just a looky Lou who saw that you had a live video and wants to check it out. Brainlicious. This is Tea and Tales. What a beautiful island man. Don't know if you can hear the motorbikes in the background, hopefully not. Hopefully the motorbikes aren't too much of a problem. They're racing at the minute. Hello, we've got Jasper. This Jasper. He's a very big cat. Alright, so did you watch my video on school? On how, I mean, it's not like how crap school is. Try to put a positive spin on it. There are some suggestions for how things can be made better. Okay. Alright, so 69%. Nice. Of you watched my video. So, for the third of you that haven't watched the video, last Sunday I posted a video which Jasper! Last Sunday I posted a video about how school is just not really that great for autistic people. Why I don't like school. Yannicka, I saw watering a chicken, thought, what, swimming chicken? If the chicken falls in, I'm sorry, there's a tiny bit of litter in the pond. That's Maisie, she picks stuff up and drops it. I'll have to scoop that out later. But no chicken, just Jasper having a drink. Should we watch Jasper having a, he's right there. We'll go straight on with it. So ostensibly this is a book club. Realistically, it's just a live stream. We're just hanging out, but we'll talk about some stuff. So Pete Warmby is interesting to me in that he is a former high school teacher in England. He used to teach English. So I was reading this with a view to kind of finding spelling mistakes, because that would be awesome. But no, it's written really, really well, and proofread really, really well. There's a section in here in the middle of the book called School, the Harshest Environment. And it's really interesting to me because, you know, look, this is a spectrum condition, autism, ADHD, similar in some respects, but to be able to write stuff in a book and have it be quite, not just relatable, but kind of unique. I mean, let me explain, right? So, jumping straight in, so for the 2/3 of you that have watched my video last Sunday, we can continue. Other than that, we'll reprise a little bit afterwards. But he talks in here about schools and not being built. It says here, by the time I entered education in the late 1980s, schools were about as well adapted for my neurotype as a set of stairs is adapted for the use by a Dalek. Let's see if I can get the chat on screen. And we'll pip. We'll pip now. You can see what I'm saying. Room layout and structure of school buildings are one of the bigger reasons why neurodivergent children struggle in school, and certainly the most intractable, meaning unchangeable. After all, it isn't easy to knock down a flawed design and build a brand new one. And anyway, there's no real consensus as to what a good, autistic-friendly school would even look like, though I have some ideas. There are the issues of narrow corridors, limited ways in and out of buildings, the ever-present strip lighting, and lack of places for quiet introverted students to hide themselves away at lunchtime. And he talks in here about, as it were, teachers on duty, you know, during break times, having to hunt down children that were essentially hiding, for want of a better word. Well, that was me. I was hiding. I was... Big screen. There we go. I was one such person that used to hide in school. Blue Bap, hi. Catching a stream for once. Probably not for long though, not sure. Okay, well, if you're still here when we do the draw, you might win the book. Who knows? You might be so good. You might win the book. Chicken walks off. Okay. I was laying eggs in the hedgerow over there. My Mike was distracted by sidecar races, so I'm a bit late. Are you off to watch them, Wendy? Are you watching them in person? We have just started, and interestingly, I ran a couple of polls. First poll is, have you read the book? Quarter yes. And did you watch my video last Sunday? And a quarter no, essentially. And just to reprise, Pete Warmby, former autistic, ADHD, and former school teacher, former high school teacher. And to that end, I mean, a lot of these books, right, a lot of books written by autistic authors cover a lot of the same material. But Pete's is different because his covers specifically areas about, well, schooling. In fact, it's quite large really. The School, the Harshest Environment chapter is fairly chunky part of his book. He goes on to talk about employment as well. Again, school. Nothing so stressful as arrest. and the need for justice. And he talks about each end of each of his chapters, a little bit like Unmasking Autism. The end of each of his chapters, he does have some suggestions for things that can be done better. In fact, there's a bit here on monotropism. Super interesting. Oh, listening to radio, okay. Brainlicious. I was fortunate to have an art teacher who was mentor to me in junior high. I spent my lunch periods in the art room talking with him. That's amazing. Like, for the first, in the UK, we have essentially high school, I think, grades. I'm not sure how to do the calculation. I think it's like year 7. Is that grade? That's grade 9 for you guys. I think it's grade 9. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please do in the chat. But like the first 3 years, so year 7, 8, and 9, so the first 3 years of high school, they're really difficult because you've got the transition from primary school, where frankly you're at the top of your school, right? I remember that with my son. He goes from like being so cocky and know-it-all to just suddenly, oh my goodness, there's so many people here and they're way bigger than me. And it's like a big change. It's a big transition, which we know can be difficult, especially if you go to a high school. It's a little bit further away than your primary school. Invariably, it will be, and you know you've got loads of new people there. So the people are different, the building's different, it smells different, it's lit differently, stuff's laid out differently, the timetable is different, the way there and back is different. And dark light motion. Hi all, I'm autistic, but also highly invested in making classes ADHD friendly. I hope you win this book then. Because there's some really good stuff in here. And like it's like the first 3 years are really difficult, because the second 2 years, when the sort of GCSEs start and the pressure kind of builds up, that's typically the time I found perhaps neurotypical children getting more stressed. The teaching staff would be a lot more stressy as well, because obviously they want you to do well in your exams. But in those times, that's kind of in my school anyway, that's when like the library kind of unlocked and you could sit in the library at break time and study and read or whatever. And that just changed everything. So that was a lot better. Oh, adverts, I can pause them. For those of you who don't have YouTube Premium, I'll pause the adverts. Right, we've got 10 minutes of no ads. They make the channel like a few pence, trust me. So we'll start. We'll go to the very beginning. I discussed the school stuff on the video on Sunday, so if you haven't seen it, please do. Please watch it. It's the last video on my channel. Jan Smith, hi there. Just wanted to say I love your videos. I'm finding them really informative. New diagnosed 6-9-year-old. I need all the info I can get. Take care. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're very welcome here. And General Otto as well. Hello. General, I used to hide under stairwells. Hiding under stairwells is explicitly mentioned in this book because he talks about how you've got teachers who are tasked when they're on duty with seeking out, because you know you're up to no good. I know Wendy is a big fan of Harry Potter, and it's that kind of like I solemnly swear I'm up to no good kind of prevailing attitude. Any student that's not outside for that hour or whatever, or the 50-minute break times, however it runs in your school, then you're up to no good. You've got a problem. So you get no chance to break, right? So for the autistic child, the neurodivergent child, you've got no chance to kind of recalibrate. That kind of restful period for the fidgeting neurotypical boy that, you know, perhaps loves football. I'm not saying you can't love football if you're autistic. I'm not saying that at all. Quite large generalizations for such a short video. But, you know, they get their break. Whereas for a lot of autistic kids, they don't. And some schools are better than others. Right, let's go. If you and I were ever to meet, I doubt you'd suspect a thing. No alarms would be raised or red flags waved as your eyes scanned my face and your ears heard my voice. Reassured, you'd talk to me normally, as an equal, as a peer. You'd happily assume that I was just like you. And maybe we'd chat for a while, small talk about the weather, sports, you know, the kind of topics. Then you'd go about your business as you always have and probably not give me a second thought. Or, if you and I were to ever meet, you'd notice straight away. Your brain, so attuned to tiny variations, would spot all the signs. Those tiny flickers away as I avert my eyes from yours. The slightly slower response times to your questions. The slight, oh so very slight traces of panic as our small talk continues. You'd be feeling it in yourself too, of course, the fatigue of maintaining conversation, the dreaded judgments of what is or isn't a suitable topic for small talk, the awful wrenching intimacy of of even faint eye contact. You've lived with this all your life. Like me, you can pretend. You can appear normal when necessary. You can mask everything that's about you that's different and unacceptable, allowing you to maintain some human relationships. Maybe hold down a job, but it's hard. It's so very hard, so exhausting. And here you are talking to another. Some of you will not understand the previous paragraph. For others, it will be painfully close to the bone, full of things you recognise and dread, things that you may be able to make peace with or still struggle with to this day. It all depends on whether you're autistic or not. And there's the screening criteria. None of that is in the ICD-10 or 11, sorry, or DSM-5. And that's probably how I would start. If I were doing autism screening, that's probably how I would start it. Hi, Isabella Malquist. Hey, how's it going? In grade school, I volunteered for jobs like library book page or kindergarten monitor. In secondary school, no one usually cared, unless mischief was actually afoot. That's pretty good. It's so variable. Lunch in stairwells. Yeah, well, I mean, our school didn't really have any stairwells exactly. I mean, they were kind of quite high traffic areas, do you know what I mean? A proper PvP zone. And yeah, like the toilets were the only place you could kind of get privacy. Not great places, really. Interesting fact. I'm trying to do this so you can read. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe move that. There you go. I'm uncomfortably close to the camera. It's invading my personal space here. Interesting fact. We have absolutely no idea how many autistic people there are in the world. It used to be set at the suspiciously round number of every 1 in 100, a figure that's still used even by major autism charities. There's comfort to be found in that nice, simple 1% figure, which keeps autistic people very firmly established as a tiny minority. But it's wrong. More recent figures sway wildly from 1 in 60 to 1 in 25. That's a huge variation. We obviously don't have a clue what the real number is. But one thing is clear. You share the planet with more autistic people than you ever thought possible. We're also all at sea about the demographics of the autism community. The accepted idea used to be that the vast majority of autistic people were male. Boys, in fact, have always been viewed as a childhood condition. As we accelerate into the third decade of the 21st century, it's becoming clear that this assumption is way out, and the number of autistic girls and women is probably just as high as the number of autistic boys and men. But news about minorities travels slowly. What about race? The overriding perception of autism is that it's very white. Black autistic people are still seen as rare and unusual individuals, when in fact the proportion of black autistic people is seemingly in line with the proportion in the white community. The same is true for every other ethnicity on the planet. Wherever you find people, you'll find autistics. If I move it like that, and you can see it properly, right? This has startling implications, both historically and in the present, which I'll explore later on. To repeat, with a world population of autistic people that could be as big as 230 million people, it's likely that you know a lot more of us than you expect, whether we ourselves know it yet or not. I'm reading the chat. My high school had stairwells. No, we're stuck on stairwells. Should we just go to the school section? For those quarter of you that have read the book, what was your favourite part? This is not a spectator sport. Tell me in the chat. Oh, hang on, I'll pause. Keep pausing the adverts. There we go. Come on, pause. What was your favourite bit? In junior high, things got so bad, says Bird, that I was allowed to spend lunch in the library with the librarian. She saved every new book that came in for me because I'd always read everything in the collection. I'm sorry. It's probably why I'm a writer now. That's great. You have proper training at school. I mean, you know, a lot of times kids will say, "Why are we learning this? This is absolutely pointless. What sort of relevance has this got?" Well, you can be like, actually, as it happens. Der Dackel, I'm German, and my main impression of the UK school system is the wall. And Warmby's account made it kind of seem to me that it's not too inaccurate, at least if you're not neurotypical. Yeah. His section on schooling here, I wish he would post that just on his website. Do you know what I mean? Open source it. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it would be uncool. But It's phenomenal. It's just unbelievable. Stuff that you won't hear elsewhere. When I was training to be a teacher back in around 2008 or so, an absolutely sacrosanct part of our teaching practice was getting students to work together in groups. It was seen as a fundamental part of learning, a vital ingredient in every lesson plan. If you tried to teach a lesson without it, then your mentor would mark you down, lamenting the missed opportunities that would now seriously affect the student's ability to learn. Trouble is, I absolutely hated group work back in school. Every single time it was forced upon me, especially in those awful science practical lessons. But I actually didn't mind the science practical lessons, to be honest. But yes, otherwise, I'd find myself mentally curling up into a ball and clamming up completely, hoping the ordeal will soon be over too. Yeah, absolutely. And then he talks about putting kids into groups, and then watching sort of like, you know, lone kids just walking around trying to find a group that would accept them. Clearly, autism and group work in schools do not mix. To understand why, we have to rewind back to the early chapters of the book and the issues around communication and socialising. If you recall, one problem is that almost all autistic people have is a history of trauma based on failed communication, misunderstandings, jokes that didn't work, misinterpretation of motives, that sort of thing. After years of this, we understandably wish to reduce the opportunities for such missteps. We become more introverted, more closeted to keep ourselves safe and alone as much as possible. An autistic schoolchild around their early teens will almost certainly have learned this already, thus forcing them to team up with other people. Reopening these wounds and making them vulnerable to the unpleasant possibility of further communication crises is a bit of a, if you'll excuse the vernacular, dick move. It gets much worse if the autistic child is in some way part of an intersecting minority. For example, if they're also trans or non-binary, or if they're from a minority ethnic background, then the chance of a negative social outcome rockets up thanks to the various prejudices that are still alive and kicking in the 2020s. Group work takes the safe and solitary activity, that of working quietly on one's own work in the organised space of a classroom, and turns it on its head. Yeah. Sorry, my mind was just elsewhere for a second. Wendy Heaton, as a fellow ex-teacher, I like to see the insight he had of the job. Yannicke, I found the examples very relatable and loved how he emphasised the need to try and be respectful of needs. Let me zoom in. There we go. Of needs you might not have yourself. Yeah? Yeah, definitely. I once emailed a teacher to tell them I was unable to partake in class due to the frequent group work. She adjusted and I'm doing much better. That's good. That's good news. There's also a lot of problems is trying to force people to fit into one general and average mould. That's true. I mean, it's kind of like we have a school system. No matter which country you're in, there is a systematised programme, which kind of is one size fits all. And I think in general it works. In general it keeps kids safe and returns them back home safely, in general. You know, it allows, you know, a form of babysitting, right? A form of childminding so parents can work. In general, it accommodates those sort of goals, but it's not very graceful, and some of the ways that it could be made better are so simple and cost-effective, as in free, that it beggars belief that we wouldn't include certain accommodations. Wendy, as a teacher, I found myself rebelling against almost every new education initiative, thinking, no, I'll do it this way. Newbie, in my school, there's not really anywhere to hide, and it's very loud inside, so I usually just sit on a specific spot outside where no one goes to. It's next to a tree. I always like to climb that tree. That sounds really... I'm sorry, we've got chickens. So that sounds really nice, Newbie, actually. That sounds really nice. Do you know what kind of tree it is? I'm a big fan of trees. Dark light motion, I'm trans, and honestly, being neurotypical and trans where I live isn't bad. Being autistic and trans is really isolating. I'm sorry. Ed Zachary, how do you navigate explaining to a loved one that your joke didn't work, wasn't done with the mean intention they think it does, without using autism as the reason? I suspect there's a story there. How do you explain you have empathy when they think you have none? Well, let's go on a tangent. Let me do that. There you go. So the book is just here. We're still booked. Oh yeah, remember to... I've got a little story for you all. If you know Quinn from Autistic, he he was at a conference recently, and he emailed me to say that he pulled out a drink bottle and reminded everybody to hydrate. It's the look, it's the hydrate, and it's and at least one person got the reference, which is nice. John Lotter, I was lucky that my schools weren't that big, so for me, as long as I had my headphones, I could manage. I wouldn't have been allowed headphones. I mean, headphones were a thing when I was in school, not like cool noise cancelling kind of cans that you get nowadays, but you know, like little banded over the head headphones were a thing, earphones were a thing, and if you were seen with them, then they'd get confiscated. So what you get is you get kids, I just remember now, it's quite funny, you get kids running the wire up their arm, right, up the sleeve. Oh, hang on, I'll do this so you can see what I'm talking about. Kids would like run the wire up the sleeve and then just kind of like hold their hand like that against the ear in class like this and just listen to music. Not as an accommodation anyway, just because that's what kids do, right? They find ways around the rules. I'm going to get back to you, Ed Zachary, in just a second. If I forget, please remind me. Nice they got the reference. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's really cool. I got that email. Well, I only read it today. I think he sent it to me a couple of days ago. And like, it's like, yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I'd really like that. Like, he's like, oh yeah. I don't want to say what he actually said because it feels kind of grand. But he was like, everybody remember to hydrate, and someone laughed, and they were like, aha, we know. He was like, it's another YouTuber. So yeah, they got it. Jerona, since we moved to a very small community, my kids have done so much better in school. My son did really well last year in class with a great teacher. This was the impetus for moving out here, away from London, actually. And my son, I don't want to mention his name until I've actually got his permission to do so. Do you know what I'm saying? So at some point I'm going to have to be like, hey, do you want to be on a YouTube channel? But no. What? That's Alice behind me. If you see the red, the orange hen, Alice. I'll show her to you at the end because she follows me everywhere. And yeah, there's a lot to be said for moving to smaller, quieter schools. And Quinn, yeah. Miss Bicklechips, my parents asked for special consideration. I'd be sent to a high school that was both smaller and close to the default one I was supposed to go to. Was it allowed? Did it work? It's okay. You're becoming a professional. You called them cans. That's what the pros call them. Jerome, if my daughter, there's a benefits in being 1 or 2 fifth graders in a split grade class. That's cool. That's cool. So they've got different ages in the same class? Mrs. Bifflechips. Oh, I used to hide my headphone cord in my sweater and under my hair. Teacher completely knew, but I used to work quietly and so well it didn't bother me. That's pretty pro. I mean, right, you get the work done. Does it really matter? Does it really matter in the real world, like outside when you finish school? Oh, sorry, I spilled some of my hydration fluid on my pillow. Yeah, I did. I got to go to a small school. I haven't been diagnosed with anything, but they still figured I'd do better. That's nice. That's really nice. Right, let's quickly go back to Ed's comment about you've upset your loved one with an inappropriate joke. Well, yeah, I have a lot of experience with this. I mean, you kind of figure it out. I mean, at the point you're talking about now is less to do with empathy and less to do with accidentally making a joke that when landed badly, and more now to do with conflict resolution. Good luck, you got this. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about relationships and things again later on, but suffice to say, conflict resolution is probably one of the biggest skills that any adult, and it doesn't matter, not just romantic relationships, but just relationships in general. Negotiation, conflict resolution, it's just like the most important thing. I just remember I've been watching a few YouTube videos lately on relationships and people specifically talking about like this wonderful, the romantic sort of honeymoon period of either making a new friend or a romantic partner, and you know how wonderful it is and blah blah blah, and it's like, dude, something not right there. It feels like a Black Mirror episode kind of thing, because there needs to be some conflict. Like, if there isn't at least 1 or 2 red flags, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not. Look, Another video, another time, with a lot more context, but you have to learn that conflict resolution early, because otherwise, like, a year might pass and then all of a sudden stuff doesn't go right and you've got problems. Janica, I moved to a smaller city for myself. Yeah, you do it. You go, girl. This is Biffle Chips. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. I'd like to, but I don't drive in public transport out of big cities, and Canada's pretty terrible. Jennifer, yeah, that's incredible. That is a small school. That is a small school. Yeah. My school had 1,200 pupils in it. It was something else. Let's get back to this. Let's do this. Here we go. Oh, let's wake the camera up. Camera got bored of my rant and so decided to go to sleep. This is what he reckons, okay? This is what he says. This is Pete's top line suggestions, and I think he's, I wouldn't call this sort of an appeal to authority, but if there was such a thing, this is a good example of one done right. So, appoint leaders and other roles very clearly before the group begins their work. That way nothing is left to ambiguity. Allow autistic students to be additions to otherwise full or complete groups. Oh no. Onto the swing seat. That was Jasper. Oh. Sorry, put something in my eye. Allow autistic students to be additions to otherwise full or complete groups. Likewise, allow autistic students to form smaller groups than you'd otherwise prefer. Either of these allows flexibility for autistic people who'd rather be a face in the crowd or be in a more close-knit group. Basically, don't be too rigid in your expectation of group size. Thirdly, keep an eye on groups with autistic students, not to be punitive, but to simply monitor the interactions and ensure things don't dissolve into bullying. You want to ensure that they feel safe and supported, not abandoned. Why are we labelled challenging? He's talking about PE here. He's talking about physical education. Why is it always football and rugby, for goodness sake? I thought I was bad at sports. Turns out I was just bad at the school sports. Yeah, and he talks about university here as well. Sorry, I'm flicking through this. Just employment and other hazards. Gosh, that's 1-4. That's a whole kettle of fish. Boop. Hello. Oop, gosh, 1 second, sorry. John, if my secondary school had about 2,000 students, wow, I was large, invisible and happy that way. That's amazing. Peacocks, by the way. I was large, invisible and happy that way, thank you. This is Biffle Chips. Yes, a car was on my non-negotiable needs list for moving here. Is there a way for you to maybe start driving? Dodako, are school sports graded in the UK? Yes. Absolutely. I hated PE and refused to go. How did you manage that, Yannicka? A whole kettle of fish is funny. You make fish tea in the Isle of Man. I love it. It's weird, isn't it? I've never considered... do you know what? Where does that phrase come from? I have never, till this moment, thought about a kettle of fish. I'm sorry. I don't even know why that would make any sense at all. It's just a phrase. It's just a sentence that means everything. I don't know why we say that. I don't know why we say a kettle of fish. There'll be a reason. It'll be a historic thing, and it'll be fascinating. You know, like pecking order, for example, is literally because chickens will peck at each other and they form social bonds, very strictly hierarchical. Very neurotypical are chickens, I think. I actually like PE most of the time. Yeah, well, I mean, like PE, if you can like run around and you can kind of like move your body, you can dance like Paige Leal, and you've all got your stuff going on, and it's very stimmy or whatever, great. I mean, you know, I know autistic people into cycling and martial arts seem to be two You know, dancing, cycling, martial arts. Those three things seem to. I'm not like the view of every autistic person. I put a poll on my YouTube channel, and maybe I put a poll in this chat, and maybe I think 30 of you maybe answered it. So it's not like n equals 30 is not a statistically relevant sample, but yeah, from what I've seen, cycling seems to be a big thing. Martial arts as well. Now, from my perspective, I found an autistic scuba diver on another YouTuber's comment section, and I've had a few chats with him, and I'd like to find more, because being in the sea, being in the water, gives me that proprioceptive feedback to where I'm just a fish, guys. I'm really good. I'm not super clumsy, and it's just like, if I could have done cycling at school, I think I'd have been all right. I think, you know, because then I could have like identified myself. I've made a video about the power of labels. When we label ourselves with something, and they can be positive labels as well, positive stereotypes. But then, you know, I always thought to myself, I'm bad at sport, and that had physical kind of consequences. Whereas when I have a sports that I'm really good at and I really enjoy, and I just find it utterly refreshing and wonderful, you know, to just go for a sea swim, for example, or to go for a snorkel or free diving. It just means the world to me. Wendy Heaton, I love trampolining. That's cool. Yeah, if schools had that going on, that'd be brilliant. Like permission to stim, absolutely. And dancing. Jennifer Kastelik, did I say that correctly? As a past teacher and behavioural health professional working with autistic kids, I've discovered that I'm autistic. We do a disservice to everyone not to have autistic adults as experts for children. You're right. I would say that, you know, for example, healthcare workers working with autistic people don't need to be autistic themselves, but anything that's written about, you know, like wherever there's a phrase which is called nothing. You gotta help me out. My brain has gone empty. Nothing without us. Nothing about us without us. I've done it. I've done it, guys. I didn't have to Google it either. And it's just like, yeah. It seems to be bonkers, really, when you think about it in some other respect. When you go, okay, let's make a plan about some group of people. You can Venn diagram people in many, many ways, and go, all right, let's make policies about trans people. I'm not trans. Let me come up with something. You know, my only information on this might be a 5-minute Google and a BBC documentary. Like, I know a bit more than that now, thanks to the exposure to different groups. From being autistic, there's a huge crossover with trans and queer. It was a queer person that put me on this path. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And randomly adding it at the end of a sentence. What a thing! What a conversation we had. But it's like, how would you then talk about a certain group if you weren't from that group? Like, as in, to make plans to support them. You don't know what you're talking about. Ultimately. So, nothing about us without us. Thank you, Janica. Yep. Layla P, how's it going? Exactly. Or at the pools and lakes growing up, I'd love to go underwater and hold my breath as long as possible, because being suspended underwater is euphoric. It is. Although, to be fair, if you're holding your breath for too long... Reminder to hit like, everyone. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, if you haven't yet, or you feel like you'd like to, if you hit the like button, it's no little indication to YouTube that as an employee of YouTube now, where YouTube is kind of like my boss who manages me based on how much interaction I get on content. Wow, this is the future, isn't it? Working for a robot overlord that goes, you didn't get many likes. Nah, you're rubbish. What? Dancing was my thing. Ah, cool. Yeah, okay. Cycling I thoroughly hate. Jennifer, dancing and martial arts are definitely me and my kids. Amazing. I love it. Playing volleyball, nice. Christopher Matthew, the idea of an electric kettle filled with herrings is amusing. I don't understand. Isn't kettle like a cauldron? Yeah, I think a logo on kettle chips. Hey. Yeah. Sorry, am I behind everybody? I am. I'm a little bit behind. Right, let me read the chat. It's interesting. It's really good. Oh, hey, M&K Prods. I want to learn scuba diving. It's great. Visible. In junior high, PE, they had us doing all kinds of electives. Archery? Yes, brilliant. Oh, I went on a school trip in primary school. It was to France, and it was kind of awful. I wasn't bullied there, but I was just kind of on my own, right? Very much on the sidelines. And I was pulled up first to do archery, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't very good at it. And I was like this, and the guy was like showing me with everyone watching, and I let go, and it was like whoosh, bullseye. Oh, my confidence went through the roof. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, that would be cool if I had that at school, and then that could have been cultivated. Oh, I'd be doing it now. It'd be brilliant. I'd be like Legolas now. You must be like Legolas too. It'd be fantastic. Rhythm sticks. I don't know what that is. It's like Morris dancing. Jump rope, dance, picture dance, class in school uniforms with an old record player on the side. Nice. That sounds like Hogwarts, that. I got to go rappelling off a cliff in college. Amazing. See, these are kind of like alternative sports. Certain sports which require a certain understanding of social dynamics. You know, like in football, for example, at school, where you'd have like the popular kid would have the ball, and he'd be kicking it towards the opponent's goal, and then he'd pass it to his best friend, and you know, then sometimes they'd kick it at you, perhaps a little bit too hard, with the intention of making you fall over and maybe fall of it. You know, you get what I'm saying, right? You know where I'm going with this. It's like there are certain rules within those systems that don't apply to something else, like dance or even cycling or even archery or whatever. I used to pray to become a dolphin spontaneously, and now I too jump and dance. Thanks for saying my name right. Thank you. I can't remember how I said it. AI boss, yes. It's like having an AI boss overlord. And think about it, right? I made a video, and I'm bitter about it. It's on Patreon, and it's free, by the way. On the free tier, you can watch the video for free. And YouTube bummed me out over it, and put me on an official warning for debunking medical misinformation on their platform. 44, hi from California, where I live in Eden. Well, it's a bit cold, I think. I mean, I'm wearing a very thick jumper, but the Isle of Man is a pretty place. Wendy Heaton, I trained at the Royal Academy of Dancing in London to be a ballerina. That is pretty epic. You have to tell me more about that story. How are you all? Missed much? Yes, you have, but we still haven't done the draw yet, so 2 books, by the way, to win today. I will post them to you anywhere in the world. Every other time I've said this, it's gone to places around the planet which are really far away and very expensive for me to post. So if you wouldn't mind clicking a like, that'd be great. We've got Unmasking Autism, unclaimed prize from a previous stream. We'll be giving it away on this one. And obviously this copy of Untypical. The cats will sign it, probably Hydra. I'm a swimmer but never dreamed of swimming at school. Go figure. Bicycling for me, steer like a good thigh and glut squeeze. There you go. On the plus side, it's good for your legs. Do you dance in the Middle East and Central Asia? Apparently some people going out fishing and boiling fish. People boiling fish for supper. It's inconsistent taste of kettles of fish, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Oh, okay. Okay, so sometimes you'd make a cup of tea and because fish had been boiled in there, it was sometimes fishy tea. And sometimes it was normal tea and sometimes it was fishy tea. I get you. The sun's going to pop out again soon. It's going to go just behind some tree. Just played basketball and volleyball and PE. Yes, we had to do those as well. Running laps, yeah. Hockey, we did field hockey. Being a ballerina is licensed to spin. What do we need to enter in? Ian, just pop your name in the chat when we do it. Maybe, I'm thinking like checking battery levels. Dankle. My understanding of team sports in school is that every sport was a contact sport where popular kids get to tackle everybody, and if you get the ball, pass it ASAP or be beaten into the ground. Correct. Yes. If I had the ball, it was gone. I was constantly thinking about who I was going to throw it to. Just like based on being the popular kids get to tackle everybody. Yep. And they use that as an opportunity to just bash you into the ground. Yep. Right. Interestingly, I remember it was year 7, I was in school and we had to choose like an elective sport, and I ticked netball, and then I got told off because I wasn't a girl. And I'm like, I didn't realise like it was a contact sport, like, do you know what I mean? Like I didn't, what? Very confusing. Just my autisticalities. Winning on zero stretch, yeah, exactly. I was on the T track for the sprint and long jump. I was tall for my age. Yes, you get picked for basketball as well on that basis. Height matters more than anything else. Yeah, his conversation about PE is interesting. Here we go. In short, I'm so poorly adapted to this and found the experience so humiliating that it precipitated a terror of going into school on days when I'd expected to endure this nonsense. I'd do everything I could to avoid having to go out on that field in my PE kit. Normally a quiet, well-behaved kid, I resorted to lying through my teeth to PE teachers for a week after week. I'd forgotten my kit, or I had the flu, or I had a tummy ache, or I'd broken my hip, whatever the excuse. I'd find myself in the library or on the viewing balcony above the sports hall, happily reading my book, while my classmates smashed into each other and showed off their physical skills. Because of how poorly the school was accommodating my particular neurodivergence, I was forced to rebel and lie and disassemble, despite the fact that doing so went against every law-abiding, if clumsy, bone in my body. Why couldn't they allow me to play sports that weren't team games, like badminton or tennis, or ones that were ordered and structured, like athletics? Why was it always football and rugby, for goodness sake? Girls weren't allowed to play rugby or contact sports. Girls had to wear bloomers for sports. No, I'm not doing it. I admire your abilities to just not do it. I just don't think that was an option for me. Like you just couldn't not do it. I wished I'd danced that much as a kid. I was in cross country as a team. 44. A peacock's native to the Isle of Man. Yeah, well, they were brought over in the Victorian era by one or others or multiple of the posh houses here. And then they've just kind of become native. They've become endemic. But when we would say native, we'd say something that's been here for longer. When you describe a species as native, it depends on your time frame, and usually you would go like before biological recorded history. Do you know what I mean? Like from early records type of thing. That's kind of the definition of native. It's a bit of a weak definition, I know. So. For example, the Isle of Man has wallabies, which are native to the Isle of Man, but they escaped from a zoo and have bred, and now there's a couple of thousand of them just all over the place. And we've got wallabies. So they're now native, but they're not native, but they're not now native, but they're not native. Do you know what I mean? I got detention every week for a whole year, and then I got suspended for not going to detention. If it were... Wendy Heaton, wallabies are now native too as escaped from the wildlife park. Yes, but like they're not native. They are native now, but they are not native species. Like, this is something that I could go on about on another time. Maybe you guys can come out with me and do some surveying. But like, it's like, yeah, my brain is disappearing now. Right, where I'm at. And in PE, which was the first lesson, walking towards the tennis courts, I jumped, rolled down 2 steps, tripped, James Bond rolled, and split open my knee. Oh dear. I had to go get stitches, but missed the rest of the day. Eek. Like, Geronif, naturalised. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, naturalised. That sounds like a rusty bike. That's a peacock. Right. Amelia, New Zealand has wallabies as well. Yeah, so my understanding is you've had wallabies for hundreds of years, like thousands, maybe even millennia. Whereas our wallabies are, I don't know. Well, I don't know when they escaped, but the wildlife park's not that old. It is old, but not that old. 44. Yeah, for me it was opposite. I was talented at athletics, but a girl born in 1970 wasn't really able to do much of anything. I signed out of the grade school system at 15 and started going to college. Wow. Like, this is the conundrum that education poses to autistic students. Many will have little desire to kick up a fuss, and certainly none whatsoever to get into trouble. After all, sticking to the rules and avoiding rocking the boat are key traits shared by many autistic people. But they'll have absolutely no choice when push comes to shove. In my case, the stakes were low and I only had to resort to telling fibs about my PE kit or having a bad cold, but some autistic children can rapidly become very serious, all because there was no accommodation made towards them in the first place. Wendy, I used to use pastel crayons. Did that work? Wendy! Wendy! Everybody read Wendy's comment. I used to use pastel crayons to create bruises on my body to escape PE. Are you talking about like drawing them? Or like bashing yourself so hard repeatedly with them? Don't. They're great bruises. Recompost. Oz had one of these. Enzi used to. It must be more recent. There we go. Invasive species will be coming to a picture from your house next. Oh my goodness me. You're very artistic, so I think you probably have gotten away with it. Like, that's incredible. Blah, 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 blah. The most obvious situation of this ilk is that it's seen across the country, if not the world, is the school absenteeism. The idea of school refusal. That's what it's called in the UK. I don't know what it's called elsewhere, but it's school refusal. Where a child refuses so steadfastly to go into school that parents and teachers can end up out of options, was alien to me when I first started teaching. Mostly because it had never occurred to me as a student myself that this was a possibility. Me too. But I quickly noticed how prevalent it was, especially as students got older. The problem is compounded by the fact that accommodation in lessons is so rare. Certainly back in the 1990s, teachers had no patience at all for students who, for example, couldn't catch. The inability to do those kinds of apparently easy tasks was seen as a result of laziness or an unacceptable flaw that had to be corrected or worse, mocked. Students who genuinely couldn't throw or kick or catch or indeed write for prolonged periods or focus on the work were seen as immediate failures or even laughingstocks. On top of this, classrooms were sensory nightmares with brass strip lighting, colourful posters covering each and every wall and strong air fresheners or the teacher's aftershave or perfume filling our nostrils. None of this engendered a love of school in us. This is an incredible chapter, and it's, yeah. Time for me to leave. Have fun, everyone. Oh, Blue Blap! I'm sorry. If you have like, let's say 10 minutes, then we'll be on the hour. Then we'll do the draw. But if not, that's okay. We'll do this sort of thing again. I forged so many notes, countless notes to get out of gym. I for a call eventually said I wasn't going to participate, and I just didn't. Like, this seems to be reasonably common now, but it never would have passed my mind that this would have been something that I could have done. The interplay between education and autism is a fascinating one. In so many ways, they go hand in hand. After all, autistic people are very often keen learners, especially when the topic's right. And almost every single autistic person I met values knowledge and understanding very highly. We often have the tools needed to become exceptional learners and teachers much of the time. A monotropic focus on details, love of thoroughness, hyperlexia, and yet school and university are so frequently the worst time of our lives. Something is going horribly wrong here, and I believe it's little more than a stubborn refusal on our part, the education system, I believe it's little more than a stubborn refusal on the part of our education systems to be flexible and compassionate. Our rigid services, so wedded to tradition and old-fashioned ideals, are failing autistic students time and time again. Yet despite small gains seen here and there, it still feels like there's a very long way to go before the whole education system in the UK, and elsewhere, right, could be classed as autism friendly. Mega book. Right. Okay, it's time to do giveaway. Oh, hang on, wait. Technical glitch on my end. We're good. I'm back. Right, giveaway time. Okay, here we go. Let me... Okay. Here we go. Oh, I brought an iPad so that I can write down everything in an app. Prize draw generator. I forget what they're called. I used before. Random name picker. That's what I used. That's the one I've used before. Okay, cool. Okay, if you would like this copy of Untypical by Pete Warmby, I'll put it in a jiffy bag and post it to you. Anywhere in the world, any person can enter, but you will have to give me a postal address to post it to. And I can be very slow posting stuff. I'll try and be quick. I'll try and go in the week. So, but you'll get it in June, almost certainly. We've got 2 books. The first book that we will draw is Untypical, because I've decided to draw this one first. Okay. If you'd like to be on this book, please drop your name into the chat now. Please drop your name into the chat, and I'm going to type you onto here, and then we'll draw it, and you'll watch the draw live. How cool is that? Who'd like the book? Ian Hamblin. Ian Hamblin, you're on it. Newbie. Brainlicious, is that a yes? You would like it? Is that what that is? We've got 2 names on the draw right now. Any more? Who else would like to be on the draw? Amelia, would like to be on the draw? Visible friend? Pelly? Kimberly Brain? Delicious, yep. You can just use your username, is fine too, Edward. Whatever you write, I'm just going to type, okay? My name, Ed Zachary, right? Biffle chips. We're going to run 2 draws. Maxime. Maxine, do you want to be in it or not? Can you? Maxine, yes, Maxine wants to be in it? Maxime. We're not keeping your names, we're only using it for the purposes of doing the draw. Julie. Okay, I'm going to read, just to be fair, okay, because it'd be a shame if anyone missed this. Oh, Bird, I just saw Bird wants to be in there, cool. Helen. Layla P, you weren't on there, you are now. Okay, we're going to do a little check, okay, a little checklist on screen. This is who I've got. I've got, 4D4. Oh gosh, right, there we go. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw to save time, Christopher. Okay. To save time. I'm going to draw both books. We're going to draw one after the other. Okay, General Otter, you want to be in it too? Okay. Cool. Cool, right. Okay, let me speak to you first. Let me have a quick little chat. Oh, no, you made it, just about. Wait. First things first. I don't want anybody to say, you didn't put me on there. So this is your last chance, okay? These are the names we've got. There are 2 books to win. Okay, we've got Ian Hamblin, Newbie, Visible Friend Lee, Pelly, Kimberly Brainlicious, Edward, Geronif, Ella Lehman, Ed Zachary, Mrs. Bifflechips, Maxime Vasbalom, Julie Gallagher, Bird, Helen, Layla P, 44, Christopher Matthew, and General Otter. Did I get Dawn? No. Let's do it. There you go, Dawn's on there. Jennifer. We've got Jennifer. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Oh, no, you're not too late to enter. No. MD98, you can be on there too. So rules of the competition are... No, you're on there twice. Okay, are you? You shouldn't be. No, you're not. That's very, very good, very kind of you to say. Oh, Dawn. Oh, is that you? Is that 44? Okay. Right. This is who we have on the list. Yeah, 44, cool. So, Dawn, who's Dawn? I just took a Dawn off. Was there a Dawn? 44 Dawn, that's the same person. Right, cool, right, good. Because I don't know who your names are necessarily, unless you've previously told me, and I also happen to remember. Those two things have to coincide, then I'll know who you are. Okay. Right, okay, cool. Let's do the draw. Just give me a sec. I'm just gonna minimize some stuff. No, I don't want to show keyboard. Minimize, yep, cool. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. Can you see my screen? I'm gonna hide that. It's not working, is it? It's a bit dark. Right. Oh. Is Amelia there? Let's make sure. No, you are now. 6 cents, cool. I'm twice Edward and Ed Zachary, okay? Okay, so we have to keep this fair and consistent. We have. This is my last call now, okay? Throat's getting a dry. Here we go. Newbie. If one person wins both books, I think what we should do is run it again so that there's 2 books, 2 people. Or maybe one person can win both books. I don't mind. We have Ian Hamblin, Newbie, Visible Friendly, Pelly, Kimberly, Brainlicious, John F. Ella Lehman, Ed Zachary, Mrs. Bifflejips, Maxine V, Julie Gallagher, Bird, Helen, Leda P, 44, Dawn, Christopher Matthew, Jenna Lotta, Jennifer Callis, I think I've spelled your name wrong there, but you know who you are, MD98, and Amelia 6 cents. And then Andrew. Okay. Andrew XO. Last call, I'll take a Bud Light. Here we go. We're going to have to do the drums like this. Is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Here we go. Start. Pelly is the winner of Untypical. Pelly? You in the chat? Pelly is the winner of Untypical. Can you please? We have another one though. We've got Unmasking Autism. Pelly, are you there? Pelly, congrats, but I need you to email me. I don't want to have to give this away in another Tea and Tales in a month. I want to send it to you. Come on. Pelly, please, say something. Pelly, come in, please. Do we have a Pelly? Pelly, you have a week to get in touch with me and give me an address to post this to. Pelly, are you there? Pelly! Okay. Right, Pelly, hopefully you're watching this back. I'll post this to you. Let me know where I'm posting it to. 7 days. We're going to draw now for Unmasking Autism. It's time to do Unmasking Autism. I'll wait for the helicopter to go. I can't shout over the helicopter. Paintings by Pelly. Welcome. This is yours. I'm just going to wait for the helicopter to disappear. Wonderful. Pelly, could you please email me could you please email me on the email address there with your address, please. Or an address. It could be a work address too. Privacy is very important. I'll delete your email after I post your book. Okay. The draw for Unmasking Autism. Without further ado, we're going to rerun the draw. Okay. Pick another winner. Okay, here we go. Is everyone ready? We're going to run the draw for Unmasking Autism. Go. Here we go. Christopher Matthew. Congratulations. This copy of Unmasking Autism, yours. Tell me where I'm sending it. This is great. This book is Dr. Devon Price, Unmasking Autism. You've even got all of my little notey pins things in there too. Christopher Matthew. This is yours, my friend. I need to go to the post office and post some stuff. There we go. Congratulations to the winners. Please email me. Please email me so that I know where it's going. Anywhere in the world is fine. Congratulations. I will leave a little note in there for you as well. Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing your annotations. There will be annotations. They may not be legible annotations, but there will be annotations. Helen, your post is going to be very busy. Well, you see, for those of you, sorry, Hydra's just walking across the sun there, and she looked really pretty. I can show you, actually. It's too late now, she's gone, but I can move the camera. I'm posting out pin badges to all of the Autistic Cat crew. For those of you that are supporting me on Patreon, I'm saying it like supporting me, but I'm trying to give you like, I'm paying it back, guys. Like, I want you to get value out of this. So, those of you supporting me on the cat tier will be getting a Scratching Post badge. Those of you on the tiger tier will be getting the Scratching Post exclusive Hydrate badge, which looks like this. I'm not wearing them at the moment, but there, looks like that. Amelia, yeah, you're welcome. I hope you get something. I do. So Christopher Matthew and Pelly, please contact me. So amazing, like things. No, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Enjoying this format, right? I'm getting to, yeah, Anne, you're getting both badges. You're getting both badges, and by the way, they're amazing badges. The print quality is outstanding, and it's recycled acrylic, but I don't think the ink is recycled, so I didn't want to say anything. But with little brass pins. So yeah, they're really, really cool. They're amazing badges. So Mike's very excited to post things. Yeah, I like making people happy. It's good, right? It's just good. It just, you know, supporting me means I can do this stuff, and it makes me really happy to do it. So like, win-win, right? So yeah, that's really cool. Excuse me. And time to hydrate. Duck? Oh. This is a Muscovy duck. Would you guys like to look at some animals while we sort of finish? Also cucumber Anne. So like, this is Francis. His name is Sir Francis of Drake. This is Sir Francis Drake here. And then obviously quite another chicken. This Alice. Oh yeah, this thing. Anne, look at that. That's the thing. It's looking like it's pretty lush right now for some reason. I don't know why. It's never been. It's not done that in 10 years like that. I'm just really quite happy. And then, yeah, obviously hydrate. And then over here, little check. There's another one there, just bathing in the... There you go, give it a little shake off. And then down here, there's another one. That's a tripod leg there, but you know, chicken. And then the sunlight's really nice right now. This is golden hour, guys. Literally golden things. It's golden hour. And that Maisie. Maisie, say hi. Oh, Maisie, you look weird. Yeah, so that's Francis. Francis, and chicken. Shaky chicken. And then that. Don't know what she's looking for. Insects, I think. Yeah, how's the chat, by the way? I think do we lose some people? Okay, let me just put you down. You're looking at a pillow right now. And then I'll do that. There you go. It's better. Hello, Francis. Beautiful yards, thanks. Like I said, it's golden hour right now. I mean, stuff is kind of... Our gardening is... Well, it's a country, it's a cottage, right? So it's just a cottage garden. So stuff is kind of messy. But that kind of works, executive functioning wise. Like in terms of like gardening, it's all kind of hedge trimmer and strimmer, right? Spin that around. Oh gosh! Oh. I'm trying to find something interesting to show you. There's insects, which I guess the birds are eating. I love strimming. It's not that pretty, really. I mean, like, yeah, I guess it is in this light. Hang on. Oh, move my butt. Have I been sitting down like so long? Sorry, it's not a good look right now. Give me a sec. Right. Got some more cable. Oh, I hear a cat. Right. I didn't know they would be alive. Am I late? Yeah, you are. There you go. Duckweed. I mean, a common name, Arium lily, death lily, botanical name, death lily? Gosh, Botanical name. You speak a love language there. Must be love plants. In the UK now, when's it turned dark? Well, because I'm in the north, it's kind of a bit of an extended summer. It's not going to be dark for ages. Hang on. When's sunset?
Sunset will be at 21:42 today.
There you go. 21:42, 9:42 p.m. An hour and a half. Yeah, there are frogs. Yeah, there are frogs. There we go. Baby birds are so cute. Yeah, they really are. Just birds in general, pretty cute. The book can be purchased from Amazon. If you're in the US, there is an Amazon affiliates link in the description at the bottom. If you buy it from that link, if you're in the US, then I get a few cents. I think like 50 cents for a book. But honestly, if you can get the book, you get the book on Kindle. You can get the book on Audible as well. If you've got Spotify, you can listen to it within the 15 hours of included credits a month. It's 6 hours. It's 6.5 hours on Spotify. So you can listen to it twice in a month. Oh, I didn't realise it was a funeral flower. I just thought it kind of looked kind of rude. There's a bird fight going on. There's a bird fight going on. Oh, Hydra. Hydra, come on. Hydra. Come on. I know. It's Hydra. Look. This is your reminder to hydrate. It's your hydration reminder. She's very soft and snuffly. She's very soft and snuffly. Snuffle it. Do any of you with cats ever kind of like blow hot air onto their heads like this? They sometimes like, I don't. What am I saying? Yeah, I was trying to. Oh look, there's a bird. You see it? It's like a sparrow or something. Do you know what? It's kind of like I need a big lens, but like there's chattering birds up there. I do that on their bellies. Yeah, me too. On my other account, Garden Wife, there are videos of our pond through the years. Oh wow. I take it out because maintaining it too much. Oh okay, so maintenance here, like there isn't really any maintenance. Like it's just I have to fill it up like with a hose. Do you know what I mean? Like top it up in the summer. Yes, we buff on our kitties. Scott, hey, welcome. Richie from South Africa, Amlody's Poppy choice of funeral arrangements. Aww. I mean, it's pretty. We're in the pub and the Wi-Fi went, but the pub has Wi-Fi, so I'm back! Yes! I wish the lights were longer, my room is so hot. Aww. It's like, it's not that warm here, to be honest, which is why I'm in a jumper, because summer has not really arrived yet. I'm trying to find you birdies. Hang on. I mean... There you go, Pip. know about Untypical. This has kind of turned into a bit of a spring watch. Maisie, there she is. Oh, you got a stick. Wow, nice stick, mate. Best stick. I'm doing. Oops. So, thank you for coming. Where did the peacock go? Yeah, I don't know. They're around somewhere. Oh, there's one there. There you go. Border collies are so smart. Well, I was going to say not this one, but that's unfair. Yeah, peacock. You guys want to? Should we say hi? Ah! 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 Okay, it's just showing me up. I was in my yard as a kid. Yeah, pretty. It's literally golden hour right now. Like you know, I just like puff myself up. You know. His neck looks so thick. Yeah, partly because I was screaming. It blows my mind to think about how we're worlds apart but can meet like this. Yeah, the internet's amazing. A PDA peacock. Oh my goodness, yeah. Ah! See him respond there and just sort of move around. So when they're on guard, they puff their necks up. The catbirds here that make funny sounds, they serenade us every night. Ah, that's sweet. What else is there to show you? From where I'm sitting, not a huge amount right now. I mean, I'm kind of like looking out for birds, looking for birdies. Heatwave due this month, and I'm looking forward to a bit of it. I don't want to be too hot. So, got to get ready for local Pride Parade party. Glad I got the stream later. Hey, later, thanks for popping in and entering the competition, and also enjoy Pride. Happy Pride. I like the noise peacock tails make when they shimmer and fan the feather. Yeah, shh. And then this guy's not doing much. It's as zoomed in as I can get, yeah. Yeah, that's as much. That's a zoomed in-y. Oh, pathological demand avoidance. Like, there's no... This one isn't the emotional support peacock, by the way. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'll see him. See you. What's the music? It's Golden Things by Kylie Daly. You can get it on Spotify. I need a cup of tea now. Persistent demand, persistent drive for autonomy. Definitely. What are their names? Well, this one is called Stinkbug. We have Stinkbug. It does feel like quite a nice time to do a Golden Things stream. I don't know if you can see it. It looks a bit blown out to me. Don't know if you can see it. It's a chicken. It's a Brahma. This guy was named by some kids. He was abandoned in an arboretum, and he was named by kids. Is it Dino? Yeah, I think it's Dino. Cool, cool, cool. But like, it looks to me on the back of the camera and stuff like it's a bit washed out from the sunlight. And you got thanks to TJ, I think that line is Balmoral Hi-Fi. There you go. Right, Maisie. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just messing about. Thanks all for coming. I'll see I'll see you all. I feel like I'm a sports photographer here, tracking the dog. Come on, Alice. It's the dramas. Hey, Harriet, how's it going? How's it going? Paparazzi, yeah. Does feel a bit paparazzi-ish out here. Quite a lot of equipment. Our family of grey foxes. Grey foxes, wow. That's something. Chicken as well, yeah. So this, he was abandoned. He's new. You won't have seen him before. He's literally new. Harriet, where are the peacocks? They're around. They're about. I don't know. We should do a bird feeding stream. No. They're going to bed, I think. They'll go find themselves a tree and go up. I have an emotional support lizard. Wow. Helen has emotional support lizard as well. Chickens are amazing pets. Mate, it's evening. It's not night. It's not morning. It's not time for that. It's not time. Oh, there's Cookie over there. You can't. Oh, you missed it. Sorry. The toilet duck. Boof. Bearded dragon. Yay! We have a gecko. Amazing. Right, I'm gonna head off now and do some scripting and some work on tomorrow's video. Does the Finch app count as a pet? Yeah, of course it does. What have I missed? The purple flowers. These are irises. Oh God, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's lovely company. Yeah. Sneak peek since you're here, and there's not too many of us now. It's just like the fewer the people, the more stuff I want to say. So tomorrow. I'm going to do a video, and it's going to be a really funny one. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to tier rank. I'm going to tier list the objections to our collective autism. the things that people have said. From my first-hand experience, I have quite a few. You don't look autistic. You're too smart to be autistic. You've got a family. You can't possibly be autistic. And I'm lucky. I get that, but that doesn't preclude me from being autistic. And if you have suggestions, please let me know. There's a community post on my YouTube. chickens trying to roost and falling and roosting. I need fun after that crack vid on Patreon. Well, I mean, it was quite fun. The pirates were quite fun. Oh, this is Jasper. Oh gosh, can I? Yeah, so let me know. There's angry birds over there. They're too far for me to film. Hi. Okay, that's a bit gross of you of me there. Oh, that's my hydrate water bottle. Look, that's quite good fun. And then, oh, that's the sound of the peacock. But you can't see it from here because it's behind that. So you can't see it. Well, I need to come out of golden hour a little bit more, don't I? Wow. Golden hour. And then, you know, for the dog people, there's a dog there. Right, what was I saying? Oh, well, Helen, I hope you've enjoyed and had a really nice time at the pub. I hope you've got headphones in. Because like you don't want to. Oh, Pelly, you didn't have to. Thank you so much. You didn't have to, but thank you. The book is free. You don't need to pay for it. It's like, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll take a look at that later. I can't see what you've said. If you've left a message, I'll look at it in a moment, in a bit, once I'm off the stream. Layla P, did I plant a lot of foliage? No. Well, yeah, the trees, the fruit trees, yeah, all of them. But most of the established foliage and the big plants were planted here by the previous lady that lived here, and she owned a flower shop. She was really big into flowers and plants, and she owned a florist, and she was florist lady. So quite a lot of the irises here and stuff, that was her. But the ponds are us. Well, that zooms in great. It's not bad. It's pit lens, but it works. It's just a nice time of day to be looking through a camera. Really, it's golden hour, you know. Suffer from autism. I said I don't suffer from autism. I suffer from people. How is the sound so good in the wind breeze? Okay, you really want to know? Do you want to know? That's why. There you go, Layla. Well, I'm sorry if the sound of that is annoying. It's a dead cat. It's a dead cat. Its technical name is a dead cat, but that's why. that's why it's. That's how you do outdoor. That's why the wind is not a problem today, but it was more of a problem yesterday. Dead cat. There's another one on that. I can't show it to you. You've got to leave it on the Acer. Yeah. That's worse than your bird. Well, Maurice. You can't be rude about Maurice, visible friend. Daredakle, giant autistic cat hairball. Yep. How is the sound so good in the wind breeze? There you go. That's how we do it. So yeah, straight after the stream, I'm going to get myself a cup of tea, pack away, get a cup of tea, and then I'm going to write out all of the various things that I and other people have been told for reasons for why we can't possibly be autistic. And I'm going to tier rank them. We're going to go from S tier, the God tier, the good reasons, or the juicy ones, all the way down to like E tier, F tier, where it's like, come on, try harder. All of those ableist things, I'm going to put them all on there. For those of you who haven't met Maurice, Maurice is my taxidermy parrot. Have a really lovely rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon. It is a lovely evening here, but the mosquitoes are going to start coming out soon. What are your ranking criteria? Well, I don't know. I'll have a think. But these are things I need to answer, I want to answer. Thank you all very much. Good night all. Bye cats, bye. Thank you all for being here. Bye.